till now I'll revise what we have learned till now. We have learned about convolution layer. So what happens when, see, first thing, there is a convolution layer. In the convolution layer, what happens, the features are getting extracted. Thereafter we apply a pooling layer. In the pooling layer there is reduction in the dimension, and along with that we what happens, the most prominent features are there in that particular image are being extracted in the pooling layer. Now, after convolution and pooling layer, we are going to talk about dropout layer. So, what exactly is the dropout layer? I guess you might have learned about dropout layer in yesterday's session as well, in neural networks introduction. What is exactly dropout layer and why we use it? So the basic concept remains the same, that is why we are using dropout layer, to in order to avoid overfitting problem. So what happens in the case of overfitting, when we say that a model is overfitted, when a model is trained so much that it is also taking into consideration the noise which is present in the image, then we can say that the particular model is overfitted. Now what is exactly noise in the image is nothing but an unwanted things. It is taking into consideration those unwanted things, and because of that overfitting problems arises. So what happens in the dropout layer exactly? I'll give you an intuition regarding that. You can see on my right hand side there is an image in which we have some of the nodes, and these nodes are not having any link with the further nodes. So in the dropout layer, what we do, we are actually deactivating some of the nodes or some of the neurons in that particular layer. As you can see, suppose this is a layer. Okay, and this is a neuron. All these are neurons, and some of this neuron, and this neuron, it is deactivated completely. Means we are not giving any link to this neuron. Means there is no input given to this neuron, and along with that, there is no output going from this neuron. So what happens? This neuron is whatever would be the function of this neuron to extract a particular feature would not happen in that particular iteration. Now, this dropout means number of neurons to be dropped out. On what factors do this number of neurons to be dropped out depends. It depends upon the value of p. Okay, so p is nothing but the probability of the number of neurons to be dropped out in that particular layer. Suppose that you are having 100 neurons in a layer. Okay, so if the probability value is 0.5, then the number of neurons to be dropped out during one iteration would be 50 neurons. Okay, in that layer, in 100 neurons layer, there would be the probability value. If it is 0.5, then 50 layers. Any randomly selected 50 neurons would be taken into consideration to drop out, to get deactivated. So this is what the p value is. It decides the number of neurons to be dropped out from that particular layer. So as you can see, this is the layer which has 5 neurons, and you can see 2 neurons are dropped out. Means what does the two neurons are dropping out? What does this indicates? It indicates that the output of this neuron, what is the feature it was supposed to get extracted, it was supposed that these features would be extracted from this neuron would not get extracted, and the weights which are being applied to these neurons will get equally distributed to the rest of the neurons which are activated. Okay, now the question arises that whether this neuron would be dropped out in the next iteration as well. No, see, as I said, that randomly selected neurons would be taken into consideration. So in the next iteration, in first iteration, if these 2 neurons are dropped out, in second iteration, there are probability that these 2 neurons would get dropped out and this neuron might be activated. In the next iteration, any randomly selected, might be this or any 2 selected neurons might be deactivated, or we call it as a dropped out, and other neurons might be activated. So in this way, we are giving more focus or more priority to some of the features which have been extracted from some of the neurons. Okay, in this way, we can avoid our model to learn unnecessary data, unnecessary noise which is there in an image. Okay, so that we can avoid the problem of overfitting and we can get a desirable output. Okay, so this was the concept of dropout. In this slide, you can see that this is the code for the dropout, and you can relate the dropout function with this particular meme. As what the dropout does, it will deactivate, it will stop that particular neuron from sending its any output. So it is deactivating that neuron. So you can see in this highlighted region, we have added the dropout layer and this 0.5. What this 0.5 represents, it represents a number probability value, the probability of the number of neurons to be dropped out from the particular layer. So this is the 0.5 neurons would be dropped out in that layer. So moving next, what do we do with the pooling feature map? So as we have seen, there is a convolution layer, there is a pooling layer. So in pooling layer, after pooling layer, what does happens? There is a pool feature map, means there is a layer which has pooling matrices stacked beside each other. Okay, so in this, these are the pooling feature maps. So what do we have? What does this pooling feature map do? So you can see that, consider this particular pool feature map. Okay, so in after this process, what happens? We are doing the process of flattening. In the flattening, what we do exactly? We will take into consideration this particular first row. We will stack it into one. We will stack one by one. Again, consider the second row. Take into consideration the values and stack again after that. Take into consideration the third row. Stack one after it. Okay. So you get what? You are converting 3 cross 3 matrix into a 1D vector or a 1D array. Now you guys might have been in the question that why we are doing this process, why we are converting 3 cross 3 matrix into 1D array, and why not we are keeping it as it is. So the answer of this question will be given in the further slides. So as you to summarize, what is it is an input image. Okay, as you can see, input image is being passed to the convolution layer. After convolution layer, we are getting a feature map in which features are extracted based on the whatever the filters we are going to apply. Again, those feature maps will be applied with pooling layers, whatever the pooling filters would be there. It might be a max pooling or it might be a average pooling. So we get a pool feature map. So this is nothing but pool feature map. After application of pooling layer, we are getting this particular layer of matrix. So this is pool feature map. So we are doing the flattening operation, considering each matrix. We are considering every single matrix. Consider a single matrix. Convert that 3 cross 3 matrix into a 1D vector. Similar operation is being performed by each of these matrices in the pooling layer. So this is nothing but the output generated after we are converting 3 cross 3 matrix into 1D vector. So this flattening layer, we called it as a flattening layer because it is a 1D vector, and this flattening layer is an input to the further layers, to the further artificial neural network. So you have learned about this pooling layer, then flattening layer. So consider this is a flattening layer, okay, and you can see these are the inputs, and these are the inputs of a flattening layer. They are important because they are act as an input for the next dense or fully connected network. So this is a fully connected network in which every single neuron is connected to every other neuron in the next layer. you can see that this is output layer. It is also the part of dense layer. So every single neuron is connected to every single neuron in the previous layer, isn't it? You can see this, consider this neuron, it is connected to every single neuron in the next layer. It is also connected to every single neuron in the previous layer. Hence, it is called as a fully connected network or dense network. So what is the function or what is the use of fully connected network? We are going to see. So these are the 5 neurons. They are nothing but an input to the fully connected network. After we are performing flattening operation and we are getting a 1D vector. So these 1D vector, they act as a input to these particular network, that is fully connected network. So in this fully connected network, there are 6 neurons. We are applying weights. Okay, why we are applying weights? In order to extract again the features. So we are applying weights in this fully connected network, and these weights would decide the aggregation of what is the aggregation of filter for the output. So these are, you can see these are the lines. They are nothing but the weights, we can say. Okay, so these weights decide what would be the output, and if the output is during first iteration, of course the output won't be, the classification output won't be that perfect. So if there is an error in the classification, we call it as a loss function, because that is a difference between actual value and the predicted value. Okay, so that loss function we need to reduce, and for reduction of that loss function we do backpropagation. So what is exactly backpropagation? In backpropagation, weights are updated. Weights in the CNN or convolutional neural networks is nothing but the filters that we are going to apply. Okay, the filters that we are going to apply to every neuron in the to every neuron. So those filter values are getting updated in the backpropagation. So as you can see here, you can see these are some of the values. So in fully connected network, we apply any activation function, okay, based on the number of outputs we want to get. It might be ReLU, it might be softmax. Most probably we apply softmax function. So why do we apply softmax function, and why we have done the process of flattening? So the answer is softmax function we need to apply in order to convert the particular values that we are getting into a particular a single value which is between 0 to 1. Okay, so softmax is the only function which will take an input as a 1D vector. So that is why we are converting those 3x3 matrices into a 1D vector so that it would be an input to the softmax function. So softmax function would give you the probability value or the value between 0 to 1. Okay, so here you can see these all are the values between 0 to 1, and they indicate. Now consider this neuron. So the value of 0.2 indicates that the feature that this neuron is extracting, okay, that feature, this neuron is 0.2% confident enough that that feature belongs to this dog classification, dog class. Okay, consider this neuron. So this particular neuron is 0.9% confident enough that this feature that this neuron has extracted belongs to the cat category or cat class. So these hypothetical values denotes the output of the sigmoid function. And the aggregation of all this would result into the predicting the correct class. Okay, so summing up, we have a convolution layer in which we are extracting first features. Then we have pooling layer in which we are reducing the dimension of a matrix, and again we are trying to possibly extract the prominent features. Then we have a flattening operation in which we are converting a 3x3 matrix into a 1D vector. Why we are converting it into a 1D vector? The reason is in the fully connected network, that or we call it as a dense network. In fully connected network, what happens? There is an aggregation of all the features. This convolution layer is local. Okay, it is extracting local features. Means it might be extracting one convolution layer is extracting edge feature, means a vertical edge or horizontal edge. But in a fully connected network, the fully connected network has to consider every single feature that has been extracted, and they have to aggregate those features and give the resultant output in order to predict the right class. Okay, so this is nothing but a function of fully connected network. I hope you have understood what is exactly fully connected network, why we are using softmax function, and why we have performed the operation of flattening. Okay, so I stop my screen.